Check the description for the following discount codes. Been a very long time since Playseat released the Playseat Challenge, their foldable cockpit, and probably one of the most popular cockpits in the world, regardless of foldable or not, purely because it's a reasonable price. It fits a variety of shapes and size people. I think up to 165 kilos is the maximum weight you can put in a Playseat Challenge. And it takes all your usual accessories from entry-level Logitech stuff up to the sort of mid-range, you know, Fanatic CSL-DD and things like that. Obviously, this can be used in any room, in any shape or size place, and then you can just fold it up and put it behind a sofa, a chair, or in a cupboard under the stairs, an airing cupboard, something like that. You may all be familiar with the Playseat Challenge. So this is the Playseat Challenge X, and in particular, the Logitech G edition. This has, we'll put a little video on the screen here. You can adjust the angle of the wheel deck. You can adjust the pedals, slide them forwards and backwards, depending on leg length, and you can tilt them as well. Now this is new. The tilt of the pedal tray. The pedal tray has been changed, been updated, as has what we see here. You now adjust the sort of recline of the seat using these clamps that you undo here, whereas before you had straps that ran over either side. Now I used to use those to get in and out as well, so it'd be interesting to see what it's like knowing that they are not there anymore. So that's changed. But you know, the pedal tray as well is particularly interesting because the original one was just a basic tubular frame, a bit like what you see there, and it was just a big Velcro strap that you put over your pedals to keep them in place. This looks like they actually now bolt on, and you've got that angle adjustment as well. So it should be big improvement for pedals. I would like to say this is probably an improved way to adjust the sort of seating angle of the seat itself, purely because the previous one, you have marks on the straps, like 4 or 5 little marks, and yeah, you can undo one, put it to the mark, go around the other side to the other one, but this is probably a bit of a neater and tidier solution as well. And also, they have changed the material of the seat. It's now called breathable ActiFit material. I mean, I can't really tell you what that is, but that's what they're calling it. And this also comes with a shifter mount, something that was not available for the original Playseat Challenge. So, and you can see a picture of a Logitech shifter mounted there. Hopefully it can fit on either side. I mean, it looks like it's on the sort of top frame section where either side of the wheelbase is exactly the same, so I don't see why it wouldn't go on there, but we'll see anyway. Now, the reason I've left this in its box here is just because I wanted to show you just how small the box actually is. This is how it comes. I haven't even opened it yet. It weighs 11.4 kilos, and this is literally how it comes. I may as well just show you a little close-up of the box just for shits and giggles. But yeah, I just wanted to kind of illustrate just how small this really is, even sort of packed away. I mean, it's not going to be, this isn't how you would fold it away when you finish playing, but I just thought it was interesting. So pull this panel down, slide the foam packaging insert all together out of the box, and then there's a QR code to scan for assembly. Well, we're not going to do that because it's a Playseat Challenge. How hard can it be? Now, what it's suggesting I do is just slide this all out as one with its foam attached. Probably should do it on the floor, otherwise it's all going to fall down, which is what it's just done. Well, that's fine. Let's just get it out like that. There we go. This, incidentally, was £259 off of Amazon. There will be linked in the description because essentially this is just an evolution of the Playseat Challenge. It's going to get a strong recommendation because they're a great cockpit. I'm not quite sure what this is. It looks like a big placemat. It's got like foam on the back, so I don't really know what you'd use it for. Maybe you'd put it up on your wall. I don't know. It's a poster, Playseat Challenge X. I don't know. But odd that it's foam backed. Maybe it's just there as part of the packaging, perhaps. Who knows? So, what else do we get? A surprisingly large manual. Not something I was expecting of this size, and it's all in English. Okay, that's interesting. Wasn't expecting that. But yeah, it shows you how to put everything. Sorry, the light is a bit bright, but you get the idea. It's a manual, it's got everything in there that we need. I didn't expect to have to do like a build montage for this because I assumed that it would just all slot together pretty quickly, but looking at it, there's actually quite a few little pieces now. So, Playseat Challenge additional kit, whatever that means, feels quite heavy, so perhaps we've got tools, nuts and bolts. Oh, this is going to be the part of the pedal tray, isn't it? And we need some scissors to undo that. We've then got whatever this piece is, back leg or something, but this is what the whole thing's made of. I think it's called carbon steel, so it's tubular, if you haven't seen one before. And then I'm going to assume these are little feet of some description as well. Interesting, because I normally get all this stuff out ready for review and have it out on the floor, but I just wanted to sort of show how small it was all packaged away. So in here we've got, what's this, the seat itself? Yeah, that's the seat itself, which goes this way. It's got like a nice mesh to it, helpful for sweaty people like myself, make it a bit more breathable. And it's going to probably slot over the top of the seat, isn't it? I imagine. So there's that. Bits of foam. Get those off. I'm going to imagine that's the upper part, perhaps, that cover slides over. And then what else have we got here? Yes, there's actually quite a few individual bits. Is this a front leg of some sort? A little bit of rubber on there. Does this come apart? Oh, I think the wheel deck may look a slightly different shape to the previous one. Can't be 100%. Okay, a few more bits. Oh, these are going to be, I actually quite like the colour. These are going to be our pedal tray where they hook on, and then the pedal tray will bolt to that. What else do we have? It's funny, it looks so small, like all together here. So another couple of bits. So there's actually loads of little bits for me to assemble. Okay, well, there's definitely going to be a sped up build montage because there's way more bits here than I was expecting. I kind of thought it was going to all unfold out, but it isn't. Yep, some more bits. Okay, that's cool. Right, can we get this one out? Yeah. So here's our wheel deck. I can't tell from memory if it's any different to the previous one, but it might well be. And here's our adjustment at the back here. Undo that and then it can tilt. And these 4 bolts here, 1, 2, 3, 4, you can undo those, and 2 more there and 2 more there, so move it forwards and backwards, just like the original one. Little quick release button there because this slots in and slides open and closed, or tilts, lifts open and closed to get in and out. Now, final pieces attached to this. It's very interesting the way they've used, bits of foam like this to fit everything in, to package it all together. Quite cool. Someone had to sit there and design that. So yeah, these are the last 2 bits then. I'm going to call them like a scissor mechanism, because when you open that, let's drop one on the floor. When we open this, you can then, so that is our adjustment. This is metal by the sounds of it, or it definitely is. And then just clamp it closed. So, yeah, quite a few differences to the original Playseat challenge. Different material for the seat, different mechanisms for the adjustment of it, and an improved pedal tray. So, let's get this all put together and get some sim racing equipment on it, have a little walk around and have a little race and see how it does. And of course, see how it folds away. It looks to fold away just like the original one, so I'm expecting that to be the case. Quick and easy. We'll do a very quick walk around because there's not a whole lot to see here. Starting at the pedal tray, you can see I've got my pedals installed. Now, this does only support the Logitech range of pedals. I did offer up some Fanatics and some Acertechs, but the bolt patterns do not match up. So there is some adjustment. You can see we've got another hole here, and actually a hole up here, and a couple of other side holes. So you can move it around, angle it a little bit at the front there. Then if we look to the left here, you might see some indentations in this rod here. You slacken this and then slide the whole assembly forwards or backwards and do it up, same as on the other side. Pretty simple. We've now got these nice blue handles here, and you may see some numbers on the top. Yeah, so they're numbered, so you can slacken the handles off. There's one each side, of course. Here's the other one. And that's how you adjust the angle of your entire seating position. Slacken them both off and then open the seat up or close it down a little bit. So that gives you your height and kind of your backrest adjustment. Wheelbase adjusts using that big blue handle there, slacken it off, tilt the base forwards or backwards, and there's actually 8 bolt holes on the plate itself that can be undone and moved back or forwards. You can probably just about make a couple of them out at the end there. Now the wheel deck does support different bases, same as the original Playseat challenge, whereas the pedal tray of course does not. But those pedals are bolted on there so much better than using the strap on the original Playseat. And of course now we don't have the arms, so that makes getting in and out easier. And you know, those handles from my brief playing around do make the adjustment process easier as well. Just take a little stroll around the back, big Logitech G logo on the back there, and this material as well I think is much nicer than the original Playseat challenge material. So I'm seeing lots of, you know, upgrades. I wouldn't necessarily say upgrade from your Playseat challenge to it, but they have upgraded this Playseat challenge a reasonable amount. Now you see the shifters mounted here. There is a bar here that runs from here and sort of sticks out the side. You can place it on the other side also, and that supports the Logitech shifter. There's actually quite a few holes drilled in it, so you may even be able to fit other shifters. Obviously I haven't tried any, I've just put that on. But that's what it looks like, all assembled with the Logitech equipment on it. It's a nice, neat, tidy solution, bar the wires dangling down, but you know, that is the way it's got to be. There is actually a couple of clips you'll see here and here that I've used. They come with it, but it's only a temporary setup for me. Anyway, but yeah, let's get in it, get some race footage for you, and then I'll talk about what I think about it at the end. So I'll quickly show you how to get in before we talk about what I think of it and show you some race footage, but it's pretty simple. You just spin this collar around here, you lift this up out of the way, and unlike the first Playseat challenge where there's those arms that were here, there isn't now. It feels much roomier as a result. It really does. And then of course you just put this down and you do it back up, whichever way that is, that way. Now I did try adjusting the seating position while seated. Don't do it. The moment you undo those, collapse, obviously. So you do need to get out to adjust the seating position. I am on position number 5, just for reference, and I am a gnat's hair short of 6 foot. You can see my kind of driving position here. So let's get some footage on the go now, and I'll also talk about what I think of it. Very briefly, what is interesting is going back to a Logitech G920 after driving with, you know, high-end wheelbases for bloody ages. You forget just how much you can feel the cogging of the gear-driven setup and just how little torque there is. Although, you know, entry-level wheel, it does still work. And again, that's really how we are with this foldable cockpit. It is an entry-level foldable cockpit. There's going to be wobble and flex, and I'll demonstrate that now. In actual fact, look, plenty of wobble if I pull it up and down. There's actually nothing on the pedal deck that doesn't move at all with these Logitech pedals, but there's plenty on the wheel deck here. But we expect that, and it's perfectly acceptable for this type of setup. But what's interesting, if you watch as I'm actually racing, or just driving around really, having just looked at the camera and crashed into the wall, you'll see there's not a whole lot of movement really in it when you're actually using it. I tell you what, it's weird using these Logitech pedals as well. That's been a while. But yes, in use, it's not too bad. And I tested the Playseat Challenge, the original one, with my Fnatic CSL DD, and it was fine with that as well. Yes, of course, there was wobble and flex, but it didn't detract enough from the experience if you have to have a foldable cockpit. You know, the only reason you buy a foldable cockpit is because you have to have a foldable cockpit. Otherwise, obviously, buy something more solid, buy something rigid, you know, and you won't have any of this wobble. But neither, you know, that's totally neither here nor there, because you only buy a foldable cockpit because you need one. A bit like a wheel stand, you only buy a wheel stand if you need a wheel stand. We'd always recommend buying a full static cockpit for the best experience if you can. But yeah, I'm going to say this is more comfortable than the original Playseat Challenge. I don't feel like I'm squished in as much. I feel like I've got a little bit more leg room. I don't know if the dimensions are any different or if it's just the way this material supports me at the front, or maybe my Playseat Challenge is worn, you know, but I feel like it kind of sags more below my legs. This does feel more comfortable. The pedal position is definitely nicer, where I've got it angled ever so slightly. That's definitely an improvement. And of course, you know, the pedals themselves are no longer held on with a big Velcro strap. So that is nicer to have them bolted down. And I'm sure there'll be adapters come out from somewhere or another, you know, like Alien Sim Products, whose wheel I'm using on here, for example. There's lots of places, MV8 Studios, that all do mods and accessories for the Logitech stuff. I'm sure there'll be adapters that come out that take it from Logitech bolt pattern on this Playseat Challenge to, you know, Fnatic and whatever else, you know. They might even produce universal adapters that have slides in them, or just lots and lots of bolt holes to choose from. So I'm sure that will happen if it hasn't happened already. I haven't actually looked. But yeah, the way it bolts down, definitely a big improvement. I feel like I have more space because those arms are not there against my, let's just forget this, against my legs either. You know, I mean, it was kind of nice for pushing to getting in and out of before, but the reality is I actually prefer all this space here. The shifter mount on the left here, again, you can see a little bit of wobble as I'm changing gear. It's bolted to, you know, the wheel deck, so it's going to wiggle the whole thing backwards and forwards a little bit. But it's just to the left of my steering wheel. So if you are H pattern shifting, you haven't got to move very far. In a perfect world, I'd want it lower down, more akin to a real car. But the shifter mount comes with this. You don't have to buy it extra. So, you know, you can use something straight out the box if you want to do some dirt rally, manual weight shifting, or if you want to play, you know, using more historic vehicles that are H-pattern, then you can. But, you know, for me, I think it's a little bit high up from where a shifter should be point of view. So getting out is just the same as getting in. You twist the little collar here, whichever direction that is, and you lift it up. And this is where I'd normally push on those handles, but they're not there. So I'll just push on the rails here, I guess. Yeah, that works just fine. No problem there at all. So let's close this back down. And what I'll do now is just disconnect the wires from my PC, and then I will change the camera angle and I'll fold it up to show you how easy it is to fold away. Right, let's have a quick goosey at folding this away, shall we? Now there is a leg here on the left-hand side that extends out to stop it tipping over when you're opening up to get in and out. I don't think I showed that in the close-up, but it's just, you know, like the original one was, it's actually a little beefier, but it just slides in and out in the same fashion as the old one. I don't know whether we need to slide the pedals all the way in to close it. I think that's probably going to depend on how far out they are in the first place, but I'm going to do it because why not? This would be like the longest worst case scenario because you may not have to do that. So throw the rest of the wires in the seat. This one has to stay here because it goes to the pedals. So that's all I've done. Slid the pedals in so far. So now I think the next thing we do is just undo the wheel deck and let that fold down to there. And then we undo one handle here, and we just fold it up like that, tight as you like, do your handles up, and even now it's going to sit here like this. So the final thing to do is fold our pedals up like this. Yeah, I think you would need to do that, because you'd have to have them in really far, basically like this, to not do it. And then there's just a little strap here that goes around there, like that, and that has an adjustable length on it, so you can make it nice and tight as well. And that is it. That is our Playseat challenge, folded away, just like the old one, and you can pick it up and walk off with it, do whatever the hell you want with it. But yeah, I'm going to say this is just as good as the original one, and I think they've actually made quite a few improvements with the way the pedals attached to the bottom here, you know, having them bolted on. I like the new material they're using. I like these handles here for adjusting the angle and for, you know, clamping it in position when it's both ready to be packed away like this, and also when seated. I like the fact that we don't have the armrests anymore, because when you're racing you don't use them, so that's not an issue. But it makes it feel so much roomier inside without them there. And as I say, even my legs felt like there was more space. So if you need a foldable cockpit that's as small as it possibly can be, and as light as it possibly can be, and that folds away as quickly as it possibly can do, then the Playseat Challenge is definitely still the winner as far as I'm concerned. I will do a very quick video, maybe in a few days, with the original Playseat Challenge beside it, do a little walk around with a pair of them, just so you can see the physical differences. But yes, this gets the thumbs up from me, just like the original one did. If that's what you need and what you're after, it works brilliantly. I'd say it works slightly better even than the original one. So there will be a link in the description. So, as always, thank you very much for watching, and take it easy.